Whereas Billy Joe Saunders is coming off, well, he's only fought 4 times in about 25, 26 months. And that wouldn't be a problem if he kept himself in shape outside the ring. But he doesn't. We saw before his last fight against Arthur Akavov, where he looked terrible in. Before that fight, he ballooned up in weight, had to shed it all off, and he looked terrible in that fight. And some people even felt he lost that fight. And after that fight, he said that was a wake-up call, and he'd never do it again. But skip forward a few months, and over the weekend, if you saw the footage of Billy Joe Saunders trash talking Khurtsidze, you would see that Saunders is overweight again, not by a couple of pounds, but by a few stone. So Saunders has fell into the same trap. He's going to have to lose weight again, and you got to ask yourself how dedicated is Billy Joe Saunders. But yeah, it's a good fight. I mean, if Billy Joe Saunders comes in at his best, he will win the fight. He's too technically sound, he's too slippery, he's an awkward southpaw with good timing, with a good jab, with quick hands. He's a very good counterpuncher, is Billy Joe Saunders. He can fight very well on the back foot. He's a super skilled fighter, and it's a shame when someone like Saunders just completely pisses his career away, because he's a good fighter. He's not a bad fighter at all. He's got skills. And if he applied himself, he'd be a very, very good fighter. And, even now, even when Billy Joe blows up in weight, he's still got wins over guys like Chris Eubank Jr., Andy Lee, John Ryder, Gary O'Sullivan, Nick Blackwell, Blandamura. He's got some decent wins. And, that's Billy Joe Saunders when he's putting on weight in between fights and not living the life. So you got to ask yourself a question: if Billy Joe lived for life, how good would he be? But that's irrelevant because he doesn't do it. But regardless, if it's for Billy Joe Saunders of old, sort of from the Andy Lee fight and backwards, then Billy Joe wins the fight. If it's for Billy Joe from the Arthur Akavov fight, then there's a good chance he loses. Really good chance he loses, because there were rounds in that fight against Akavov where it was getting tough. And Akavov wasn't really doing anything particularly great. He was awkward and he was tricky, but he wasn't putting on immense pressure. And that's something that Khurtsidze does. No matter how crude it is, he does put on immense pressure. He'll dig to that body. He looks for those big power shots. He'll crouch in low and come up with those big sort of looping shots, and he won't stop coming. And if you've got a suspect gas tank, maybe Khurtsidze could find you out. That's what makes this fight really interesting, is how Billy Joe prepares and how he shows up and what shape he's in. That's what makes this fight really interesting. And Khurtsidze, in his own right, has proved himself to be a contender at the worst. So I think it's a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. If Billy Joe Saunders gets a win, it's something he deserves credit for beating a guy like Khurtsidze. And if Khurtsidze wins, then he's changed his life, he's changed his career, and big money would be out there for him. So, interesting fight. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion at all. We'll have to sort of keep an eye on it, how Billy Joe looks in the build-up, and we'll take it from there. But what do you guys think of this fight? Peace.